Vanakkam, Namaskaram and divine greetings from the team. Today on your premium Hindu magazine program, we feature the very enlightening 1860 Heritage Centre in Durban. Also enlightening is the peacefulness of the Brahma Kumari Centre in Cape Town. Anuradha follows with more conscious cooking, and we finally round up the show with Kugan on Yoga for Wellness and Lokesh Maharaj with the Ramayan. The history of our indentured forebears is indeed a remarkable one. The 1860 Heritage Centre in Durban is dedicated to preserving the legacy of these humble souls who paved the way for a better life for their future generations. In a trip back in time, we were overwhelmed by the exhibits and artifacts that demonstrated the tenacity and sacrifices of a generation that paved the way for the success we enjoy today.
Every community has a vibrant history and heritage to it, but you require people to do research and find that history. And so I always say that it's important to know where you're coming from and where you're going. And the only way you'll know where you're coming from is if you trace your roots. And so this center helps people in finding their roots, telling the story of their forefathers who came here and survived under the difficult circumstances.
What we've done as far as the history and as far as the research is concerned is that we've shown a history that has not hidden the fact that plantation life was harsh. We have lists of suicides up on the artworks, we have quotations from indentured immigrants.
Our people were very humble in their lifestyle, where what today in modern society was not within their reach. A, because of financial reasons, and B, because of facilities that were not available to them in view of the apartheid era. But despite the circumstances surrounding the poor dwellings, did not deter the hearts of the people. The determination that it gave to our community to progress, to move along, to build schools, build temples, build mosques, build places of institution, religious learning, and the harmony that existed among the people that lived during those times is very, very difficult to find in today's time.
What we need to remember is that when they had come over to India, they'd crossed the ocean, and that was called the Kalapani. So in more ways than many, they left behind their caste and their traditions here. And there was a system of brotherhood that was experienced here that we don't experience so much today. We had Muslims, we had Hindus, we had Christians that formed part of a brotherhood. That brotherhood was developed on the ships. And when they had brought it through here, we had people celebrating Muharram, Hindus celebrating Muharram, which they wouldn't have celebrated, or we don't celebrate today. So that system of brotherhood continued to exist.
This room is the artifacts room, and we tried to create in this little space here a whole lot of things. We have some religious artifacts here, we have musical artifacts, we have the different spices, and then we have the kitchen that was used in the old days. And it's not the type of kitchen we're all used to these days, but it wasn't easy for our mothers, grannies and all to get things done in this little space, but they managed.
This is a story of our existence in this country and the trials and tribulations, and also of the contributions. So because we're a small group, you find that sometimes our history is swallowed up by bigger groups, etc. So what we do is we tell the story of untold people, people who have not been heard of. So we found that when people talk about Robben Island, they immediately identify Robben Island with Nelson Mandela. But they do not think that M.D. Naidu was there, that Billy Nair was there, that Sunny Singh was there. So there are many other Indians that were there. And so this center tells you that history.
our 150 years, we grew up with this culture of religion, education, mutual respect, fending for one another, the charity, the social, the outlook to a fellow human being. Our humanity was very, very big. I want to know, what are we going to store in the mind of the youth today?
Lots of youngsters, even my grandchildren, they forget what life was in the past. And if we don't know the past and we don't know how difficult a time and how important it was to come to this stage that they are in now, you don't have the vision for the future if you don't know your past.